Bernstein Show. Now, here's Ed.
Look, I love and miss magazines. I mean, I was just telling Mark Shaffer, who publishes MYVEGAS and what's this other one I have here, The Luxury Life, which you know very well. How important it used to be in my life, and it still is. You know, I'm just one of those old-fashioned guys that like to physically have a magazine, and you know, I'd read yours, I'd read, you know, Time, Newsweek, and now everything is online. And I don't know. I mean, are we going to lose the paper forever?
Well, in some areas, yes, and some areas, no. As we all know, when the internet exploded in the last 20 years, Google kind of wiped out the classified ads in our newspaper, or Craigslist did. So now if you want to sell your lawnmower, you just go, or your bicycle, you go on Craigslist, and you don't need the newspaper anymore. Google kind of wiped out Yellow Pages. Right. So if you need a plumber, and you got a leak in your kitchen, you got to call a plumber, you just Google it.
Right.
So some areas, yeah, it kind of wiped out the print media in some areas. But in our business, it's blossomed, and it's just not going away, and people love it. MYVEGAS and our publications are about there are things you can't get on necessarily Google, and it puts it in real life, and it puts it in your hands. So sometimes in the computer world, there are things that are just unnecessary. When you've got a destination, if you need a plumber, or you got to sell your lawnmower, got it. You can go digitally do that right away. But these are enjoyment magazines, leisure magazines, where you're going to want to read them and hold them at your doctor's office or down at the lawyer's office, wherever you're at. You know, you've got some magazines, something for them to do to kill the time. On ours, we put on the corner, take home, free copy, take home, because we are in so many doctors and lawyers and real estate offices, and we want the customers to go ahead and take that copy home and enjoy it and read more later, if you will. So they're enjoyment magazines.
So when you say enjoyment magazine, it's not like you're publishing today's headlines, because by the time the magazine gets published and printed and in somebody's hands, that's already old news. So you really have to focus on human interest stories, right? I mean, really dig deeper into a story.
100%.
Right? And so what do you try to accomplish, like with MYVEGAS? What is your goal to accomplish with MYVEGAS?
Well, you know, it's kind of funny, the history of MYVEGAS, if I may back up a second. Back in, before the 2007 and 8 recession, I had 10 magazines here in town. We had Las Vegas Home and Garden, Las Vegas Health and Fitness, Las Vegas Dine Out, Las Vegas Restaurant Guide, Las Vegas Bride Magazine, Las Vegas Woman Magazine. I had about 10 magazines. When that recession hit in 7 and 8, there was a phrase going around where college-age kids were moving back in there with their parents to consolidate their bills. I don't know if you remember some of that going on. And
still living it.
And I got the idea from them. I thought, well, all my magazines are getting smaller because of the recession. So I put them all into one, consolidated them. They were my kids, my babies. And I put them all into one, and that's how MYVEGAS was born. So inside MYVEGAS, we have my restaurant section, we have my legal section, my home and garden section, my health and fitness section. So it's really, the recession gave birth to MYVEGAS by putting them all into one. And that gave me a 200-page magazine right out of the cannon, and it worked out great. And so it kind of organically grew from there into the concept is a city magazine. What to do, where to go, where to take the kids on 4th of July, what's going on in Mount Charleston in the summer, you know, things like that, Lake Mead, you know, just capture the whole thing. There's so many magazines on the Strip about Celine Dion or Blue Man Group or all the big shows on the Strip and stuff. I wanted something that wasn't, that was their Vegas, or the tourist Vegas. I wanted one that wasn't MYVEGAS, and that's where I got the idea. It was in the shower one day. I thought, that's it, MYVEGAS.
And what is your Vegas? I mean, you're a local?
Focused on the locals.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're not about Celine Dion, Strip, or the tour, you know, all the, I mean, we have a little bit in there, but it's not our main focus. Our main focus is what's going on in the city for locals. And it kind of morphed, though, Ed, I'll be honest with you, as we got into 2014 and 15, we had this demand for people wanting to be on the cover. And that got crazy, and I had a 5-year waiting list. And so my friend called me up and said, Mark, I've known you since high school here in Vegas. How come, why do I got to wait 5 years? I said, it's a 5-year waiting list. So that made me realize how much people really want to be on the cover. And so we started featuring our local business entrepreneurs on the cover. Doctors, lawyers, real estate professionals, and anybody, beauty business, musicians, Zoe Bowie, everybody that wanted to be on the cover. We did a cover story. So we started doing cover stories and featuring locals, because that's what the magazine was all about, was the locals and featuring the locals. So I said, let's start featuring them on the covers. So that's been our model now. So we still talk about where to go with the kids, and we still have the baby issue about, all the cute little babies being born in Vegas, and we do stuff about moms and single mom life, and we do stuff about home and garden, but we also feature rising stars in our local community.
And you also have a digital component.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Oh, yeah. So it's digital as well. You can look at it on your iPad while you're at the airport and flip through the pages, just swiping, and it's just turn the page and blow it up if you want to read it. I'll tell you one thing we added this last year, and that is the QR code to the magazine. Because the digital, when people are reading in the doctor's office, they want to learn more about this fellow, they can just hold their phone. They can put the magazine down, and now it's on their phone.
Good idea.
So you can
Didn't finish the story, I'll bring it home and read it later.
transfer it right to digital, yeah.
Or I want to email somebody, a friend, about something I'm reading in the magazine, and there it is, right?
Yeah. But your question you said earlier about print, and I get once in a while, people started hitting me up about 10 years ago, say, print's dying. Why are you going to keep printing magazines? It's dying. I tell them, well, when Albertsons stops, takes all the magazines down, you let me know. Because I'll save about $500,000 a year I won't have to spend on printing bills, okay? I would love it to die, but it's not dying. People love holding them. And I read an article about the emotional appeal that a magazine has. You can actually flip the pages, you can hold it, look at it, and you can save it, you can take it home, and it gets you off your screen time too.
Well, yeah, and not only that, Mark, but it's like, you pick this up, and the pages they feel good in your hand. I mean, they're glossy, they're thick, it's substantial. You pick up a newspaper, the print's on your hand, it's a mess by to even fold and unfold it. I mean, a magazine is just so much handier to read.
And it's a real experience instead of a digital experience.
How do you, like here you got top 100 women. It's kind of a segment that you do all the time, right?
Yeah.
How do you pick the top 100 women?
Well, we solicit our readers. We have about 500,000 readers a year out of this community annually. And out of that, though, we only have about 50,000 of their emails. We couldn't get all their emails, but 50,000 of them. We'll ask them, who's your top favorite woman of influence when we're doing the top 100 women of influence? Right. When we do the top doctors issue, who's your favorite doctor? Who made you feel amazing, and stuff like that. So it's called Reader's Choice. So the readers tell us, and from there, we call them and we help them out. And some of them want to be on the cover, and some don't, and whatever. But they still are in the magazine based on the votes and the nominations.
What about the Hispanic market in Vegas?
Good question. So we launched a section called My Latino about 4 years ago. And my general manager at my office, my right-hand arm, she's 100% Latina here in Vegas, born and raised, and she's 100% bilingual, and she's just a great gal. Her name's Laura, and she and I tried to launch a Latino section. But Laura's not a salesperson. It takes money to print the magazine, so I need sales to make that happen. And we just have not found that perfect salesperson to help us. We tried it for almost a year, and I speak travel Spanish, but not enough to close the deal or to present everything, in proper. So when I find that person, if you're out there watching, please give us a call, because I would love to get that relaunched, but would love to launch that section. And we had started it, but we just couldn't keep it going.
And is it easy today to corral writers? I mean, where do you find writers to write in? So
writers are all around the country. We've got about 20 writers all around the country. These are stay-at-home moms. These are people that just have a passion for writing. They're all of our contributing writers, and they're from every city. And it's beautiful. It's just a great relationship. They love it. They want to get their work published. and we build a relationship with them, and we prove it. I do have one in my office, Sarah, my editor-in-chief, if you will, and she reads everything that gets sent to us, and we have a submission button on our website. You can submit a story, and we'd love that too.
And what about for, local, I mean, you do have some, from time to time, like, happenings in Vegas, galas that have already happened, weddings, that type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you have photographers how does that work?
We've got 5 photographers here in town, and they go to, we send them out to the galas. We get invited to these galas and these parties, these events, and we put in the back of the magazine out in the town pictures of what's been happening around. And
what's your most popular segment?
Well, it depends on who you're talking to, in all reality, but so financially or for readership?
Well, no, for readership. I mean,
for readership, every section just depends on if you want a recipe from the chef from Giada or something. When they're doing something, we'll get a recipe from there you can take home. So the women love the recipes. The guys like the home and garden section, and I don't know, it's like Home Depot. When I go, I can't get any female to go with me to Home Depot, but I can get buddies.
Yeah, and look, it seems like it's difficult for anybody to hire people today. It's just business climate's just that way, But it seems like there's more and more writers, more than ever before, because everybody's got their own little writing thing going, and that's probably bodes well for your future.
It does, yeah. Our future now is we just opened my Austin, my Nashville, and we're heading out to Orlando and Tampa, my Orlando, and my Charlotte.
I love it, and it started right here in Vegas.
And it started right here in Vegas.
Hey, thank you so much, Mark Shaffer. By the way, this is free. This magazine is free. You can get it at doctors, lawyers, real estate office, or you can go online, right?
Online, www.myvegasmag.com.
MyVegasMag.com. See you next week.
If you've been injured, turn to someone you can trust. Enough said. Call Ed.
Over the last 43 years, we've helped thousands of Nevadans hurt at work. We can help you.
When sorry is not enough. Enough said. Call Ed. EdBernstein.com.